Karen from our HOA reserved my yacht for 100 people. The same weekend I promised my granddaughter fresh out of cancer treatment that we'd finally set sail again. I walked down to my dock and found strangers all over my boat caterers carrying trays, decorations everywhere, and there she was barking orders like a general in pink. She waved a fake HOA rulebook in my face and told me my private marina slip was now community property. My granddaughter started to cry, and all I could think was, this woman just declared war on the wrong old man. The salt air had always been my peace. I built this place from the ground up, retired from the Coast Guard, widowed, too stubborn to slow down. That yacht, the Resolute, was part of our family. My wife and I restored her by hand, plank by plank. When she passed, I promised to take Ellie, my granddaughter, sailing once she got better. That trip was supposed to be a promise, kept a sign that the storm had passed. Instead, we turned this corner of the dock and saw chaos. People I'd never seen hauling boxes, a sound system on deck, and a banner with the HOA logo strung across my rail. I froze. Then I saw her, Karen Stiles, the vice president of the HOA, clipboard in hand. Blonde bun wound so tight it looked like it hurt. She was shouting at a caterer about where to place the beverage table. I walked closer, trying to stay calm for Ellie's sake. "Excuse me," I said. "This is my boat." She looked me up and down like I'd just interrupted her Broadway debut. "Oh, you must be Jack Malalery. Slip 12, right?" "No mistake, sir. The HOA has reserved the Resolute for our community celebration. It's for the board and their distinguished guests." She dragged out those last words like she was hosting the Queen of England. I felt my blood pressure climb. "This is a private vessel on private property," I said. She gave that exaggerated sigh, the kind adults use when explaining to a toddler why crayons aren't food. It was all handled through management. "You should really check your email," she said, smiling that sharp, fake smile. Ellie's small voice broke behind me. "Grandpa, who are all these people?" Her eyes were wide and wet. My hands were shaking, but I forced a calm tone. "It's okay, kiddo. Looks like there's been a little mix-up. Let's get some ice cream, I'll fix this." I walked her back to the car, her tiny hand gripping mine, and when she was safe inside, I turned around and went back to that dock. Karen was still there, clipboard in hand, pretending she owned the place. "Get these people off my boat," I said quietly. "Now." She laughed. "You don't make the rules here. The marina is common access. If you ever attended a meeting, you'd know that." I wanted to scream, but I'd spent too many years commanding crews in storms. You don't show panic in rough seas or rage in front of a bully. So I walked away, but that was the moment I decided she wasn't taking anything else from me. That night I made calls the management company, the HOA president, the so-called board. All silent. Nobody wanted to confront her. It was clear they'd let Karen off her leash and she'd turned into the neighborhood tyrant. A few days later, my neighbor Mike, a quiet Gulf War vet, stopped me at the gate. "Captain," he said, that Pink Blazer lady's been using the marina every weekend. Yoga classes, parties, some guy in tactical pants telling kids they can't fish. That guy Brad was Karen's little enforcer, failed the police academy, now struts around with a fake badge. I checked the marina cameras I'd installed years ago. What I saw made my stomach turn. Karen hosting a Tupperware party on someone's sailboat. Karen leading yoga at sunset, blocking the docks. Brad pacing like a prison guard. And then came the insurance call someone slipped during one of those community events. My premiums were about to skyrocket for something I never approved. When I demanded meeting minutes, I got a single-page PDF typed like a high school essay. The vote to reclassify the marina as a common area was done by two people, Karen and her best friend. No notice, no quorum, just fraud dressed up in HOA letterhead. That night my daughter came by and saw the papers scattered across my desk. "Dad," she said softly, "sell it, please. You don't need this stress." And for a moment, I almost agreed. I'd spent years fighting battles both on the ocean and in my own home. I thought maybe she's right. Maybe I should just sell the marina, sail away, leave this mess behind. But then I remembered Ellie crying on that dock. I remembered my wife sanding that deck by hand, proud of what we'd built. I remembered the veterans and families who called this place home. Selling would be surrender, and I have never been good at surrender. So I opened my old fireproof safe. Inside, under medals and photos, was the original deed, my name still on the land. And beneath it the master lease agreement from 18 years ago. The one that clearly stated, the landowner retains full control of the marina. Karen and her fake rulebook didn't realize they were tenants standing on my dirt. I sent certified letters to Karen, the HOA president, and the management company legal notices demanding they cease all use of the marina. They refused delivery. I wasn't surprised. So I took the next step. I didn't sue them. That's what they expected. Instead, I called a real estate attorney, an old friend. Together we formed a new company, Tidewater Holdings, LLC. Through it, I quietly bought the HOA's mortgage from their bank. 2 weeks later, the HOA's monthly payments, the ones they thought went to the bank, were being sent to me. Then I filed a document with the county clerk termination of leasehold agreement. It revoked every right the HOA had to manage this property. Overnight, their authority vanished. They just didn't know it yet. Karen must have felt the ground shift beneath her because she doubled down. She announced a grand HOA gala at my marina. Her way of showing everyone she was still in charge. The night of the gala, while her caterers were setting up, Mike and I went to the main gate with a locksmith. We replaced the HOA's cheap padlock with a heavy-duty magnetic system wired to a power source only I controlled. Then we mounted a new sign, private property. Access revoked. Trespassers will be prosecuted. As the sun went down, we heard music, laughter, heels clicking on the dock. Karen appeared in a sequin dress, glass of champagne in hand, 50 guests behind her. She pushed the gate. It didn't move. She frowned, pushed harder. The magnetic lock held firm. Her eyes climbed up the gate, read the new sign, and her face turned crimson. The crowd murmured. Some laughed. The Queen had lost her crown and didn't even know it yet. A week later, the HOA held an emergency meeting. Karen stormed in, acting like a victim, claiming outside forces were attacking her leadership. The room was packed, homeowners on one side, her loyal lapdogs on the other, and even a local reporter in the back. I waited until she finished her rant, then stood up. "My name's Jack Mullally," I said. "I'm not an outsider. I built this community." You could feel the air change. I held up a folder. "This," I said, showing the first paper, "is a cashier's check proving my company purchased your mortgage. As of 2 weeks ago, your HOA stopped paying the bank, you started paying me." Gasps, whispering. Karen's face went pale. "This," I continued, holding up the next document, "is a county-filed termination of your leasehold. Your authority to manage this property is void." People started turning toward her. She looked like a cornered animal. "And this," I said, lifting the final paper, "is the original deed. The marina has always been private property. The rule you used to seize it was based on a fake meeting signed by 2 people. The crowd erupted. Neighbors who'd been silent for months were shouting now. "You lied to us. You towed our boats. You fined veterans." Then I played the voicemail. Her voice filled the room, smug and venomous. "It doesn't matter what the old captain says, that marina's mine now." Silence. Then Bill Anderson, the Marine she'd fined, stood up. "You owe us all an apology," he said. "And then you need to step down." Karen's mask cracked. She slammed her papers on the table and screamed, "You can't do this. I am this HOA." 2 police officers standing by the door stepped forward as she shoved a resident. "Ma'am, you need to come with us." She kicked, screamed, cursed. "This isn't over, old man," she yelled as they dragged her out. I looked at her empty chair and said quietly, "Yes, it is." That was the last time I saw her standing tall. A week later, she tried to forge my signature on a fake access form, emailed it to the police, the press, even the management company. It took 5 minutes for someone to spot the forgery. Then she went further, sneaking into the marina at night, crowbar in hand, trying to pry open the main breaker box to cut power to the docks. Mike saw her on the new cameras and called the police. The headlights caught her red-handed. Trespassing, vandalism, destruction of property. She didn't fight this time. She just hung her head as they cuffed her and led her away. The board resigned the next day. The management company severed ties citing gross negligence. The HOA was finished. Justice doesn't always come with fireworks. Sometimes it's quiet a stack of signed papers, a door that won't open, a lock that clicks shut. I didn't need to celebrate. I just stood at the dock watching the calm water ripple under the moonlight and thought about how close I came to giving up, how close I came to letting her win. You never realize how fragile peace is until someone tries to steal it. And when they do, you either surrender your shore or you take it back.